Hi there. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. I love your office. Is that your office?
Thanks. Yeah, it's got a lot of books.
A lot of books. My gosh. Well, it's Greg Archer from MovieWeb. It's very great to connect with you, Kaylee. I mean, congratulations on the film. What
Thank
a,
you.
yeah, you're welcome. What a great premise. It's very trippy, very out there, very wild. I love that it's about this beautiful influencer that comes back from the dead to steal her somebody's husband away, which and I think it's so great. Was being an influencer, was that a part of your desire to say yes to this? Because you are also a major influencer.
Not at all, actually. I think that the reason I said yes to this movie was because um, we were in a double strike at the time. I don't know if you remember that,
I
but
do.
in my yeah, all act with the writers had gone on strike, and then 6 months later, the actors went on strike too. And this was a project that got its interim agreement, and also I found it really interesting. It was on a whole, I think care this. Well, I'll first say, but start by saying that Sarah was so interesting to me because she was more than just a model. And I really did see her more of a model, like a new age kind of model, than an influencer per se. Um, because models back in the day had the same problems, you know? And in fact, if she was more of an influencer, she probably wouldn't have had so many creepy photographers that she'd have to work with. She probably could just make her own content. So I thought that it was interesting because it definitely felt like someone who's very naive coming to LA and putting herself in positions where she ended up getting taken advantage of and lost hope and ended up in order to resolve all of the pain that she was feeling from her life just not working out the way that she had intended it to, losing someone that she really loved and cared about, who was kind to her relatively. The lead, played by Alexander Calvert. She ended up taking matters into her own hands to alleviate that pain. And I found that and her complexity of how she was dealing with all of the troubling aspects of social media was so interesting to me because I feel like it's a story I've actually heard before, you know? Um, mental health, the mental health aspect of it was what really made me interested in this character.
Yeah, that's really interesting you bring that up. So how do you manage your mental health being, a big celebrity and obviously, people are talking about you and Casey Affleck and all this thing and your Instagram thing is blowing up. How do you stay grounded in this universe we're in now?
Well, I've been with Casey for going on 5 years. It's been 4 years, I think. Um, and I just try to not listen to what people comment or say about me online. Um, you can't, I feel like it doesn't matter because if your life is going well, you can just turn off the device. Like you don't have to you can take all of that with a grain of salt, you know? Like there's going to be people who are supportive of you and the decisions that you make. And then there are going to be people in your life who um, aren't happy with theirs, but they're not in your life, you know? So I also, oftentimes will delete my social media and not have it for a week, you know? If I feel like it's making me sad, I'll just delete it. Like I won't delete it like delete my account, but I'll just delete the app from my phone. And I think that that's healthy for people to do that.
Yeah, I do that too. Like I'm right there with you. We've heard that you and Casey talk to each other or about potential scripts and then kind of give each other kind of some suggestions or comments and things like that. Maybe did he inspire you or talk about this particular script? Oh, I'm curious.
Uh, no, I think, we did talk about it a little bit because it was a movie that was filming here in LA, and that's always nice to get to make something that's, at home and you don't have to go away for a month. Um, but he didn't he didn't he didn't give any notes about this one or talk we didn't talk about this one. Um, but he did come to set one time to say hi to me. But no, not this project. But we have other projects that um we've been working on together that, we've have in various stages of wanting to make.
That's exciting. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that as far as like the theme or the genre or
I can't talk too much about those because when something is still so in its incubation phase, like, it's good not to share too much about it. But fingers crossed that we get to make it because um we've put so much work into it, and I think that the story is amazing. And also just, it'd be fun to get to do something together, I think.
right, right, exactly. Thank you for that. You're in a lot of thrillers and horror films coming up, and you've been in some already, obviously. I'm curious, I mean, the body count has must have tallied up. How many body counts do you think you've gone through in your scripts at this point?
You mean like how many people like how many times have I died?
Well, that and how many people have you seen die in these scripts? That I mean, because I want to talk about some upcoming things too, because it's really, really great stuff that's coming up, and even working with Nick Cage and Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, I died in that one. That was a very bloody bloodbath of a death. But yeah, I think I've died. I don't know. I can't count, but I've definitely died a couple times, maybe over 5 times, and I've survived. I don't really know. I haven't really counted it up, but yeah,
It's a
I like it.
yeah.
I do like to die.
You like to die?
Yeah, I like to die and come back and um no, I do have like I have I don't know. I think it's fun. I do like fake blood to an extent. I think it can be fun. I think the hardest death was probably Willy's Wonderland, just because I was dying with somebody. First, my boyfriend in the movie had died, played by Terrell, and he was all bloody, and we were in a like kiddie pool together, full of fake blood, and fake blood gets sticky. And not only were my clothes sticking to me, but like he was sticking to me, and it was like a whole 6 hours of just being like really bloody, like blood in my hair, blood in my eyes, blood in my whole body. But then I think the second time I've had a really intense blood experience was probably on this movie that I just did that hasn't come out yet called The Possession of Gladstone Manor. There was a scene where blood sprays in my face. It was supposed to just spray in my face, but we were running out of time. It was like the last scene of the day. And so the blood squib wasn't working. So I was just like, just throw a cup of blood in my face. Like, just do it. It'll be fine. So they just like took a cup of blood and like splashed it into my face while I was having a vision. And it was like in my mouth, in my eyes, and I was like screaming. And then there was another scene. I thought that was bad, but then it got better, where my blood was coming out of my eyes, and I decided I was just gonna raw dog that one too, and just like put the blood in my eyes. And
Go
I
all
had blood in my
out.
eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was fine. My eyes still work, thankfully. But yeah.
The possession of Gladstone Manor sounds trippy. I mean, the great Lynn Shay is in that from something about Mary. So, did you ever see her in that? And what are some of the biggest twists in this upcoming horror film that you can share with us?
Well, I've actually worked with Lynn Shay in the past, and but we never had any scenes together. We were in a movie together called Frank and Penelope, which is a very interesting movie that also has a kind of horror element to it, even though it kind of masquerades as a romance. And me and Lynn were in that movie together, but we did not have any scenes. And then we thankfully got to do this movie together, and we got to work together. And she's really so good in it. Like she just brings this quality so innately to her that makes you feel like she can be really scary in like a very subtle way. Um, and sometimes not so subtle, and she just does a really good job of like freaking you out. But she's so lovely when, camera stops rolling.
Right, right. We're looking forward to that. I'm curious on your bookshelf, what's the most interesting book there that you've either read lately or really sticks with you?
Well, we have like Killers of the Flower Moon, which got adapted into the movie. Um, I think I have some books that are trying to become movies, and this actually isn't all my books. My books are all upstairs. I have like a whole wall of books that I read, and right now I'm working on one that I feel like would make a good, it actually is supposed to become a movie. It's called The Maid, and I found it really endearing. Um, oh, and right now I'm reading The Nightingale, which I just love because I don't know if it says on the cover that it's going to be turned into a major motion picture, but I don't know what the status is of that one, but it's a, it's a fiction, nonfiction, sorry, no, it's a fiction historical drama, and it's about, um, yeah, World War II, and also a little bit, yeah. It's kind of it's interesting because it weirdly parallels what we're going through right now in America. Um, yeah, there's like some things that feel very like similar to what we're going through right now politically, and it's beautiful. It's so like just puts you right into it in a very personal way instead of looking at it through um like a political like war on a political level. You're thinking about war and how it really affects the individual and the family and how it just tears people apart and how they don't come back the same way. Um, and it's beautiful. I
Mm,
would love to see that into a movie.
nice. Thank you for that. Well, one last question for you. If you had your dream project, what kind of project would that be with Casey?
Well, I guess it's the one that we're working on, which I can't tell you too much about. But actually, the one that we're working on isn't my dream project with him. I want to do a project where we can like act together and uh yeah, I can't talk too much about it because I want it to come to fruition, and I feel like if I talk too much about it prematurely,
I
it won't,
totally get that. Yeah, I'm the
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
totally. Yeah,
It's a secret.
as a writer, I totally get that. I'm the same way. Hey, it's really great to connect with you. I think people will be really intrigued by this thriller. And congrats and thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, be well. Have a good day.
It was nice meeting you.